Tip number 147 from the book 501 Contractor Tips. I need money. Remember, this is in the banking and accounting section of the book. If you need money, I just want to throw this out there. Is it going to be better to have access to money before you sign the contract or after you sign the contract? A plan on where the money is going to come from if you need it before or after. It's simple. Before. Now, there are a lot of people who will worry about it after. Hey, you know what? I think I'm going to need $20,000. I've got $2,000 in the bank. This isn't a good spot to be in. Hey, I need $20,000. I've got $2,000 in the bank. My mom said she'll loan me up to $25,000, but no more than that. This is a plan. This is a way to get something moving forward. Now, what if your mother changes her mind after you've signed the contract? This is where it wouldn't be a bad idea to have backup plans, an alternative plan, you know. Kind of like in baseball, they have alternate players, you know. They might only need 9 on the field, but it's always better to have a few more in case one of them gets injured or can't play or doesn't want to play. This is how things are done. This is planning. Credit cards are a good thing. I'm not saying you got to use them. I'm not a big fan of using credit cards. Credit lines. I had a credit line at the bank. It was only a $5,000 credit line, but you know what? That was all I needed. Made all the difference in the world when I needed it. I think when I was doing these apartment buildings, I think I had an $8,000 or a $10,000 or $11,000 credit card, and I had a $5,000 credit line, and that was enough for me to get through these projects until I got paid everything off, started all over again, kind of did this month after month. And I think after a few months, pretty soon, I'm starting to put a little bit more money into my savings account, a little bit more money into my business account. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, where I'm starting to make a little more money. And then after a while, I become my own bank. I had an account for my taxes, and sometimes I used my regular checking account for my business, but kept it in the back of my mind. Hey, I owe $20,000 in taxes. That's $20,000 I cannot touch. So if I had $25,000 in my bank account, but owed $20,000 in taxes, I knew in my mind, realistically, I only had $5,000 in the bank. This isn't hard to figure out, but if you have problems with this way of thinking, then you will need to start a separate account for your taxes. That way it's all separate. Now, let's just say that I had $25,000 in the bank, but only $5,000 of it was mine, like the scenario I just presented you with. And then I was going to do a job that I needed $15,000 for. Well, I had it. I would just use my tax money and then pay that money back, kind of a thing. Well, after a while, I built up to where I had my account, my checking account for my business. I had my tax account in my business checking account that I kept separate in my mind. And then I had a savings account. So if the worst case scenario happened, I could always take from my savings account and pay it back. But this is after a while. And this is the importance why I'm saying it's so important to save your money, because pretty soon you can fund your own projects. And in this business, you've got to have money. I mean, in any business, you've got to have money to make money. But in the construction business, you are going to need money to fund certain projects. I mean, I've worked on projects before where you don't get any money at all for 2 months. And that's you'll work on the project for a month, and then you will put your bill in, and then you get paid in a month. That's 60 days. This isn't hard to figure out. They're not going to give you a penny. And you've already worked for 60 days. This is going to require some money. So if you don't have a means to acquire this money and use it in your business, then you're not going to be in business very long. It's that simple.